Hi Tribe, Anna Logan Riversby here, creator of Power to Promotion program, series and live events, where I help ambitious, driven women to get promoted and to get clarity on their careers, confidence that they need, come back to themselves and create this life that they truly want to live through their careers. So I've got another set of questions from you in regards to your career. And I found that it's like now time to talk about this more because they concern bullies at work and other questions related to bullying at work. So I'm going to read some of them so you know what we're going to be tackling today. So these are the group of questions. Is it worth officially making a complaint against your line manager about not being treated fairly in the workplace? So is it worth officially making a complaint against your line manager about not being treated fairly in the workplace? Second step is how to find courage to take a leap of faith. Why should women do it differently from men to grow in a management career? How do I deal with a bully? My organization is now more corporate, which is a good thing as far as we are concerned, but she's stuck in her ways and I feel she's now blocking my progression. I'm terrified of public speaking. How do I overcome this? How can it be easy and effortless? How do I overcome my past professional fears? Which elements can I protect and lead me to my promotion? How can I avoid obstacles from manager and coworker? Why do we still have hierarchies at work? I thought we were moving towards collaborative efforts in solving common problems. Is gender biasness limited to pays or expanded into promotions and visibility as well? So these are some of the questions that are sort of grouped together because they convey the same emotion. Let's tackle gender biasness while we add it here. You know, gender biasness still exists and it will exist as long as we have men at the top. Okay, we are in a like female group, this is a female page. We are talking about gender bias because we are noticing it on our own skin. They are not noticing it because why would they notice it? There's no gender bias at their level over there. So why is there gender biasness? Why there is no more collaborative ways? Ladies, we are working on that together. It's not like you're sitting as a lemon doing nothing. You are doing it by very noticing it. You're doing it and creating the change. You are, trust me. I know it looks slow to you, but it's rapid comparing to what was happening in the past. We have to be aware that we are in the system that is created by men for men, where they thrive, but as a feminine force, we do not like it. And when I say feminine force, I again have to accentuate, I don't mean women only. Feminine energy is both in men and in women. It's just that the male, aggressive, competitive, has been ruling the system on the planet for like eons times. And the feminine force now is rising more and more and more because we simply don't like it, we are fed up with it. We want the frequency of feminine to now overrun the earth because earth needs now nurturing, collaborative behavior and more love all around. We don't need more killing and conflict. I think we just overcame that right now, right? And I think you're noticing that. So why do we still have these toxic people stopping you? And why do we still have hierarchies? Or why is gender bias limited to pays or is it expanded into promotions and visibility? Yes, it is, because we have mostly men on top. Why is there this problem prevalent? Because when you have a masculine energy on the top, every single human being is programmed to look for something familiar. It's a well-known fact. So we have a man on top to promote. For him to promote somebody, he will look for somebody who is more similar to him. So it's going to be a man who's going to dress, think, went to same universities, have same circle of friends, goes to the same places. Of course, they feel familiarity, they trust more and like more this person, and of course they're going to get more visibility from that boss, more promotions, and they're going to climb up the ladder faster. That's why that exists. So as long as that certain people are at the top, men, the gender bias is going to exist. That's why we're working on promoting more women to the top, so that we can stop that kind of gender bias. But guess what? What's going to happen? That women are going to be looking for more women to be promoted? Not necessarily. Women are not wired that way. They really are not wired that way. And next question says exactly that. She is stuck in her ways, and I feel she is now blocking my progression. So, this can happen, obviously. Every single person is different. Some have more feminine, some more masculine energies in them. I was speaking to, I think, 4 or 5 women lately who told me, all of them, that they have a female boss who is stopping them in their progression. And they were saying, why is that? I thought the men will be, you know, more opposed to me, but somehow she is stopping me. It's like she is jealous, she's trying to trample me, she's trying to steal from me. What's going on? And in every single instance, apart from man, I said, so what's going on? How old is this person? This boss was in her 50s, 60s. And I thought, what is her background, as much as we know about it, because we cannot judge anyone without going deeply into the reasons. But it'll be generalized. Let me generalize, be a little bit unfair and generalize here. Most women who are bosses now, and they're in their 50s or 60s, most of them had a really hard time getting to where they were now, right now. Because they had to become something that they're not, usually, become more masculine and more aggressive, more, as you say, bitchy and all of that, to succeed, to be seen as one of the guys. Trust me, I have done this all of my life. When I was at tender age of 7, I believe, I was standing in my garden and I was thinking about the system of the world. And as a 7-year-old, I noticed that boys were treated differently to girls. And as a 7-year-old, I said, you know what? I actually really like the way the boys are treated, because they were given more space. They were given more time to develop. They were given more liberty to make fuck-ups, big time. And the girls were not. They were always like criticized, squashed, pushed, and told, and you know, not allowed of this and that. And I thought, you know what? I actually, as a human being, I prefer to be a boy. And as a 7-year-old, that day, I'm telling you, I remember it like yesterday. That day, I decided to be a boy, and to emulate the boys, how they behave, how they think. So these women, if they succeeded being your boss now, they've been living with the structure and the system of programming that they have to think, behave, look a certain way, be with certain kinds of people, say certain things, you know, put up with all sorts of gross shit that men come up with, at work as well. So they became something that they really think that they are right now. And they've learned to see feminine as a threat. Women who are obstacles to you in progressing in your career are probably seeing feminine as a threat, because they've so deeply programmed to be something that they're not. They're basically afraid of who they are in their deepest core. They're afraid of, what the hell did I do to myself all of these decades? That I've forgotten who I am. I've forgotten about me and my femininity. So when I see you, you remind me of what I have lost. And they become jealous, and they become threatened by you, because they actually love what you have, but they see that they squash this inside of themselves, and they see how much you will be loved, you know, in their, you know, work. And they're saying, I spend so much time being who I'm not, being this force, and I've forgotten all about this, and I can't be that right now. And they become horrible, and they stop, stop you in your tracks. So this is one of the explanations. And obviously, as I said, I'm generalizing here. There's so many different variations of why would women at the top stop other women, and why would men stop other women, you know, either. I mean, there's so many explanations. But when we're talking about toxicity in the workplace, and trust me, in my old workplace, I was thinking about making official complaint against my managers, because they were absolute assholes. They were putting me down, they were swearing, they were humiliating, not just me, they were humiliating and swearing at all staff. Sorry about that. I've been experiencing technical glitches again. My iPhone memory just sort of stop having memory, so I had to start recording. Yes, I was recording and nothing was coming into the iPhone, so now I'm doing it again. So I was talking about my toxic experience at work and how my managers were introducing this culture of toxicity at my place of work, because they believed that without this toxicity and bullying others, there will not be efficiency that this organization needed to succeed. So that's their mind frame. But for me, it was a wrong mind frame, because I was thinking about how do I step up and confront these people. And I was fighting with them all the time. They wanted to fire me. They couldn't, because I was too good at my work. I mean, they actively sought to fire me because they felt like I'm not like listening to them, I'm not complying. It took them like ages until they realized how to treat me. I demand respect at work. But even though I was confident inside, because all of these years of toxicity at work eternally knocked my confidence down, internally without me noticing. It was similar what one of my toxic relationships, I do tell you about this at my live events, what one of my toxic relationships have done to me. Over the years being with this partner who appeared to be kind and generous and humanitarian, he would talk to me in such manner, in a joking way, that I'm the bag, that I look like a monkey and all of that, blah, blah, blah. And what that was doing was programming the pictures inside of my mind of what the bag is, black bean bag, what the dark monkey is about. You know, it was just programming me, so much so that even though I knew that I'm a confident person, one day there was a woman who came to me, we were talking, and she said to me, I would really love to invite you for dinner, because all of my friends, they're like standing outside. We were just like met in a restaurant. They were standing outside waiting for me. They asked me, they keep on asking me to invite you because they love you. They met you so many times. They're so interested in you as a woman. They think you're beautiful and interesting, and they want to meet you. And I was standing in front of her, speaking to her, and when she said that, I wanted to turn around to see who is she talking to. Because in that fraction of the second, the thought came up in front of me, saying to me, she's not talking to me because I am ugly. And when I realized that, I was shocked, because I consciously knew that I'm beautiful, that I'm confident, that I'm capable. Where is this thought? I was shocked, and I had to go home and think about where does this belief coming from. And I realized it was from this years and years of jokingly programming me to feel and think and see myself as a bag, as an ugly monkey, and that was done by a man who loved me, supposedly. So even people who are well-meaning can program you to think lesser of yourself than who you really are. Yet alone, bosses who think in their heads that being nasty is the way to run the business and organization. Okay, so your boss may be a bully, but ask yourself, is this bully actually want something better for yourself? And there was an instance when I said to my boss, you know what, you're always criticizing, shouting and swearing. What was the last time when you actually were a guidance for your people? I don't want to fight with you. I want you to be the guidance for me. You are my boss. You know everything that needs to be known about this business and how to make it work. Why don't you just serve? Why aren't you a guidance instead of a threat to me? I said this to this man, and he stopped in his tracks, and he thought about it. And I'll tell you, he did put an effort to become a guidance to his people. He, for the first time in decades, rewarded a team when we performed well. And at the end of the shift, he said, well done, that was an amazing work. And we looked at each other and said, wow, I mean, I'm having goosebumps just talking about this. That was amazing. And this is when I realized, for the fraction of the moment, what kind of environment that I want to be in, what kind of people, what kind of boss, what kind of communication, what kind of a leader do I want to have in my life? If I want to work for somebody, who that somebody is. If as a bully, well, he reverted into being bully, he could not keep it up. He did not invest in himself, I suppose. He did not get guidance, coaching, strategies, whatever. You need to invest to become better leader. So he reverted, unfortunately, and then I left. But you have to understand who you want to work with. If somebody is inspirational to you, be there. If somebody is toxic to you, no matter what they're thinking, you can tell them, but it's in all likelihood, if this person is like, stuck in their ways and it's always worked for them, they're not going to change. Why would they? Which means for you, you either stay in this organization. This is my answer to you. I've been there, I've done that. I had opportunities to complain, to sue. What I've done, I actually, before I had the opportunity to do anything, the whole organization went through major, shift, and people left, people died. It was like major changes. And in that time, I actually got really ill and I had a burnout. I dressed one day, put my suit on, briefcase, I headed for the front door, and I could not go through the front door. To cut the long story short, I had a burnout level 3, anxiety, depression. My GP told me to stay at home to recover. I thought it's going to last like a day or two. It lasted 6 months, and even after 6 months I was not able to go back to this environment because the culture was wrong for me. The job in itself, it was defeating my purpose of existence. If your boss is bullying you, you can either stay in this organization and take it and allow yourself for your confidence to be completely knocked down, because it will damage you. Like that relationship about monkeys and bags damaged me, coming from a well-meaning person. Okay, if your boss is nasty, it's going to destroy your self-confidence. You being a woman, you're not going to be fighting with a sword and shield. You're going to be destroyed because you are a nurturing and loving force. Okay, you need to either allow this to happen and destroy yourself. That's one option. Second one is stand up and, yes, sue the fucker. Do that. Make it really strategic, with a cool head, with people who are competent, who can really win the case. Go for the winner, pay the money, or go for the civil service. They will help you. You will ask you, or you can ask your counsel to help you there. They're advisors. I went to these people because I said I cannot spend thousands and thousands. I went for free help and they gave me some great advice. I did my own research. I learned the law. Unfortunately, in my industry, there was the law, saying if you're in this industry, dining entertainment at the time, you actually have to expect to be bullied. So if you complain, you might just be laughed at, because this is the sector that allows for bullying. And I thought, what? Are you fucking kidding me? Why? Why would this sector be an exemption? Right? But I bet there's bullying everywhere. Finance, tech, marketing, whatever it is. Every single woman I spoke to, my client or not, there was bullying present. Stand up to it. Stand up to it and fight. And rally the people around you to help you, because you're not alone being bullied, trust me. Perhaps it's invisible, perhaps other people do not know that you've been bullied, but they've been bullied themselves. You're not alone, trust me, speak to people. And third, why are you working there? Usually when I meet people at my events, when they're saying to me, I've been working this, it's really stressful, it's been toxic, I've been there for years. The first question I'm asking, why are you there? Still, there are millions and billions and billions and trillions of jobs out there. Why are you there? You have to ask yourself why. You have to understand, why are you still there? What kind of fear is stopping you? Because I had that fear. I had fear, I had limiting beliefs, I had 6 human needs that stopped me, cemented me in my place. I was not able to leave my company, toxic as hell, for a decade plus. So yes, fears are dangerous. Limiting beliefs, dangerous. You need to find out what's stopping you. If you want to leave, what's stopping you? If you want to sue the boss, what's stopping you? But the worst thing that you can do is the option number 1, and that is to take it. Because this is not slavery society anymore. You are free to make choices. You are free to either sue or leave. You cannot change an old, trainer. The old trainer, an old goose, it's, old goose, old trainer. System of bullying works for them. You cannot change them. It's very difficult, and if the change happens like it did with my boss, It'll last for a month, and then things are going to improve, and then they're going to slide back where they are. Unless they actively take up on themselves to become a better leader, and that's completely different level of consciousness. So I think I'm going to stop. I think this video is far too long right now. Well done for watching it to the end, because I believe that now you got the answer to your questions, how you can become easy and effortless. Like the more you work on yourself, the easier it becomes. The more you know what you want, the more you navigate towards better people, better companies, better purpose, and it becomes more and more effortless. So this is one of the questions, how you can become easy and effortless. In my career right now, after 4 decades of searching for ideal career, not actively, I was just stumbling about, doing stuff and experimenting. I didn't have a coach to help me like in 1 year to find out who I am. I wasted a lot of my time and energy and money. But now I know, I discovered it is easy and effortless, because now I know exactly what I love doing and I do it. And what I do not like doing in this business, I outsource. Okay, I delegate. I have an amazing team that I love working with. I love working with. I have clients that I love working with. If there's somebody that I do not feel compatible in working, I will say, I'm sorry, I cannot help you. I know somebody else who might. So I choose my reality today, and you can too. So again, stop. If there's any questions that you still have and unanswered, please ask me these. Either send me a private message, because I do keep your identity private, or just comment below, because this is a safe environment that we're working in these groups. And until we speak to each other next, be kind, be brave, and create the world that you will love to live.